Hey guys, hey guys. So, in last lecture, we were discussing financial analysis techniques, various techniques through which we can select that which investment is better or which investment is good for our money in which we are going to invest. So if we have different investments, like uh, if there is one investment which is giving the payback in 3 years, another is giving in 5 years, so that we are calculating by the uh, an analysis technique called a payback period. So similarly, we are going to see each and every technique, because only one technique cannot give us the brief idea or about which investment should select, because it may happen that if one investment is giving the payback period very early, but in long term it may not give enough revenue. In other case, in other case the payback period may be less, like in 5 years, but in long run it may give more revenue. So in similar cases, we are going to discuss different financial techniques. So we started with simple payback period. So what is simple payback period? So simple payback period is uh, that is the period through which required to recover the investment on the project. So it is the simple formula, that is initial cost divided by yearly earnings minus yearly cost. So we will see today one example on this. So here in question it is given a cogeneration plant installation is expected to reduce a company's annual energy bill to by 24 lakhs. It is so it is going to reduce our energy bill by 24 lakhs. So if the capital cost and of the new cogeneration is 90 lakhs, so we need to invest 90 lakhs, and the annual maintenance and operating cost is around 6 lakhs. So what will be the payback period for the cost? So here you have to find payback period. So as we know from the formula, that's from simple payback period formula is equal to initial cost initial cost divided by yearly earnings minus yearly cost. So yearly earnings minus yearly cost. So our initial cost, IC, the the capital cost, that is initial cost is around 90 lakhs. So our initial cost is 90 lakhs. So that will be 90,000,000 90 lakhs divided by yearly earnings. So how much we are earning? So as it is given in the question that it is expected to reduce and company's energy annual bill by 24 lakhs. So 24 lakhs is saving, as it is reducing 24 lakh. So the saving we can calculate as it as earning. So 2 4 24 lakhs. So 0 0 0 0 0 24 lakh minus and how much is the operating cost, that is 6 lakhs. So we can do one thing. So we can write 90 lakh divided by 24 lakh minus 6 lakh. So how much it will be? So 90 divided by 18, 90 divided by 18, so 9 9 10 ja 9 2 ja 18, so it will be 5 years. So our payback period will be 5 years. So this is one type of example which was asked in November 2011. So now we'll see another example of discounted payback period. So now what is the difference between simple payback period and discounted payback period? So in case of discounted payback period, the present value of the future cash flow is calculated. That is, the our present value of money is always higher than the future value of that same amount. So the present value of future cash flow is calculated, and based on that payback period is calculated. So here a question is given that if you want to define, so first if it is asked to define discounted payback period, then we can write the definition as, so when future cash flow is discounted with the rate of return, the value of cash flow is discounted, the payback period is called discounted payback period. So we'll see one example based on the discounted payback period. So that is, so find out payback period if cash flow is discounted at 10% for given data. So here a table is given where a year is given, so that is year 1 2 3, and project A cash flows. So the cash flows of project A is given, that is around, that is minus around minus 1 lakh. So that is minus 1 lakh means that much we have to invest, that is initial cost, that is why it is given in minus. Then uh, year 4, then year 4 and project A cash, that is around 40,000. Then in year 1 the project's A cash flow is around 30,000, and year is 5 and project A, so here the table is given, so here from 0 to 1 to 3, and here 4 5 6 7. So here the table is divided in two parts, so to save the space, so first year we have to invest around 1 lakh, then we are getting 30,000, then we are getting 30,000, then 40, then fourth year we are getting 40, fifth year 50, sixth year 20, and seventh year 30,000. This is the cash flow which we will get. So now we have to find out the discounted payback period. So what is discounted payback period? So here we will just list this table again. So that is year, it is year, that is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So this is year, Then here the cash flow of project, that is cash flow. So here the first year is minus 1 lakh, it is minus 1 lakh. Then we are getting around 30,000. Then we are getting again around 30,000. Then we are getting 40,000. Then we are getting 40,000. Then 50,000. Then 20,000. Then 30,000. So now we are going to calculate the discount, that is at 10%, discounted at 10%. So at the 0 year the discount will be 1. So here discount, so discount will be 1. Then at first year the discount will be 0.909. So how we are going to calculate discount? So the formula for calculating discount is, that is 1 divided by 1 plus r raised to n. So 1 upon 1 plus r raised to n. So that is for first year. Suppose I want to calculate the discount, so discount will be 1 upon 1 plus rate of interest. So what is rate of interest? 10%. So that is 0.1. So raised to number of years. So how many years? Number of years. So that is 1 year. So that will be 1. So that will be equal to 1.1 raised to minus 1. So that will be equal to 0.909. So similarly if I want to calculate for second year, so the year will be 2. So that will be minus 2. So that will be equal to 0.826. So in the similar way we will calculate for discount for all the years. So that is so that is 0.826, 0.826, then 0.751, it is 0.751, then 0.683, 0.683, 0.621, 621, then 0.565, 0.565, then 0.513, 0.513. So now the present value, so that is PV. So how we are going to calculate the present value? So the present value will be the cash flows multiplied by this discount. So this discount we are going to multiply it by cash flow, so we will get the present value. Okay, so you calculate this present value on your own, and then we will get then we will find the cumulative net discounted cash flow. So how much discounted cash flow we are getting? So cumulative. So what is cumulative? Means that here we are adding the value. So suppose whatever value is here, so we are writing in cumulative first, then whatever value is here, so this plus this, so the total of first and second value we are writing here. Then for third, the total of all the three values 1 2 3 we are writing here. So we are finding cumulatives. So till we will get a positive cumulative value, we will keep on adding it so that to find the payback period. So cumulative value, so here we will get minus around 1 lakh, minus 1 lakh, then you will get minus 72730, then we will get minus 47950, then minus 17910, then we will get 9410. So at which year we got the positive value? So at fourth year we got the positive value. So at fourth year we got the positive value. So our payback period is 4 years. So when we are getting a positive value, so that is our, so payback period we will get is 3 years. So here at fourth year we are getting positive value, so payback period is just 3 years. Okay, so this is the discounted payback period. So next, so the next instruments which we are going to discuss are return on investment and net present value. So return on investment. So what does return on investment mean? So return on investment means, so return on investment means how much source, how much revenue we are generating from a single investment. So from this invest, if we are investing some amount of money, so how much we are getting back, so that we are interested in, that is return on investment. So we can define the return on investment is the ratio of benefit return of an investment is divided by the cost of the investment. So the result is expressed as in percentage or a ratio. So that is called return on investment. So next is net present value. So what is net present value of a project? So is the sum of the present values of all the cash flows. So total sum considered by taking negative and positive sign consideration. Here we are calculating, that is net present value, that is NPV, is equal to minus CF0 by 1 plus R raised to 0 plus minus, sorry, here it will be plus, all will be plus. So that is cash flows occurring at the end of first 0 year, first year, second year and third year. So number of year for completion of the project, N is how many years it will take for completion of the project. Only the first value will be taken negative, all other will be taken positive, because in the first we are in, we will have some initial investment, and then the cash flows will be in positive, so we will take positive. So the value will be taken positive for the next remaining years. So number of year of completion of the project. So R is the discount rate. So if the NPV of the project is positive, then the project will be beneficial. So if NPV is positive, then project will be beneficial, and vice versa, means if it is not positive, it is not beneficial. Then it is not necessary that the discount rate is constant throughout the project span. It may change depending on the market condition. So if the NP is positive, then the project is acceptable. So the discount rate may change according to market rate. So the next technique is internal rate of return. That is called IRR. So, what is internal rate of return of a project? It is the discount rate which makes its MPV equal to zero. So, at what discount rate the NPV will be zero? It's not positive, not negative. So, it is discount rate. So, which equates the present value of future cash flows with initial investment. So, it is the value of R. So, it is the rate of return in the following equation. So that is, we are interested in finding R. So at what R the NPV is equal to 0. So that R is called internal rate of return. So if we equate this NPV formula equal to 0 and we find R, then we will get the internal rate of return. So generally the value of the cash flow at 0th year is always negative. It is considered as an investment. So this is considered as an investment, other will be positive. So if the IRR is more than cost of the capital, then the project is acceptable, otherwise the project should be rejected. So IRR should be more uh, than the then given, then only it should be acceptable. Then the last technique is cash flows. So what is cash flow method? So mainly two kinds of cash flows are taking in any project. There are two cash flows. So first is the cost of installation, that is initial cost, so which is required, and second is implementation of the project. So that is running cost, we can say. uh, that is installation and implementation of project, that is one cost. And second is outcome, so that is savings from the project. So in case expenditure cash flows, two types of expenses are included. So first is tax and second is asset depreciation. So while considering cash flow method, these two expenditures are also included in the cash flow. So in the in cash flow we have seen two types of uh, cost, that is cost of installation, other is outcome. So and in expenditure we have seen the tax and asset depreciation there, so that will come under the cash flows. Okay, so we will see some of the examples of this, and we will see in next lecture risk and sensitivity analysis. Okay.